Hey guys, thought I'd do a quick walk around video on the LX45 today. Tell you a little bit about it, how it's built, what it's got going for it, how it's holding up, and maybe it'll give you guys some inspiration to build something of your own, similar or different. But anyways, this is my LX45. I built it about 4 years ago. I think I started in 2016 building it. It was about a 3-year build process. There is another video that's basically like a slideshow time frame, time-lapse video of the entire build thread. There is some pretty good build threads on this still up and active if you want all the details. But this is built on a 1996 LX450 Land Cruiser chassis, basically same as the 80 series. It had electric lockers in it from the factory, and that's why I bought it. It was basically a chassis that was a really good size for what I wanted to do. I wanted a more mid-sized vehicle after my flat fender. This is a 112-inch wheelbase. The axles are 63 inches wide, which gives it a pretty nice stance. The custom body I built for it, however, is fairly narrow, as you can see. I basically took all the taper out of the FJ40 tub, starting at the beginning of the door opening. The doors on FJ40 are not parallel to each other, they're tapered. And so I took that back out of this chassis, giving me something that was about 56 inches wide, so it's the same width as the windshield frame all the way to the back of this little pickup body that I built. It has an aluminum top with 2-piece hard doors with sliding glass windows, and all that is removable for, you know, being on the trail when it's nice out. The body panels store, or I should say the window panels store on the truck. The rear panels fit behind the seat, and the window panels, the upper windows, fit in a false floor under the bed. So basically that lets me take a full 4-season top with me anywhere I go. It has glass windows so that I can run it in the winter and scrape the windows and all those things that comes with living in a beautiful place like Colorado. No snow yet here, but I'm sure it's coming. This truck has a very small bed on it, but is a good size for trail work. It's quite a bit narrower than the cab, as you can see, and a 40 or 42 inch tire will fit in the back. There are some hidden things like the Pioneer tools at the front of the bed. I run only a spare tire, no wheel. Even if I do take a spare tire, I keep my tool bags and parts bags inside the spare tire. As you can see, there's 4 or 5 of them in there, and they're basically like my tools bag, my parts bag, my fix-it bag, fluids bag, all those types of things. So the chassis is very stock still. There is no lift on this truck. It is basically stock LX450 springs. The only, I guess you could call it, lift for the 40-inch tires is from the reduction in weight for the body. That gives me probably about 1.5 inches of lift, and that lets me clear a 40-inch tire with this custom body. It rides great, drives great, goes down the highway at 80 miles an hour, and works surprisingly well off-road, being very close to stock. It does have some very nice nicely valved Fox shocks from AccuTune that really help it in the bumpy stuff. You know, you got to have your Warren 8274 winch. That just looks so right on these things. The grill, as you can see, has been heavily modified. Basically, I took the corners out of the grill that would be about there and pinched the headlights together, gave it a trapezoid shape, and that's to give me clearance for when the tires turn, but it still looks like Land Cruiser. I think the headlights are about 4 inches closer together than stock. Yes, the bezel is upside down. but it's for a reason. So, well, A, I don't have the stamping on the bezel, so it doesn't really matter. B, basically the airflow over the winch is more even this way than if this was flipped. Then you'd have thicker up here and you'd have less airflow over the top of the winch. That's my overly logical engineer explanation on why I run it that way. It does fit both ways though, so it's not a big deal. I do have this custom rock catcher kind of grill in it just to keep the chunks out of the radiator. It does have hydraulic assist steering. You can see the ram down in there. It's basically just a steering stabilizer style replacement. I think you can see a little bit of it down in there also. Works really well. Just enough for this, not too much. And then basically I'll show you the engine compartment here. Let me put you down for just a second. So this has a 2013 GM 5.3 truck motor in it with a 6L80E automatic. Just enough power without being too much for this chassis, but still very fun. Fits in here pretty well. It is very high in the engine compartment, as you can see, and that's because basically the belly is completely flat on this to the frame. And all that required a very large transmission tunnel rework in here to clear the 6L80, and then it has a Land Rover LT230 transfer case with an underdrive high range. So that basically gives me 1.22 high range, so I was able to leave the stock 410s in the diffs, and everything thinks it has 5-to-1 gearing. That window is locked, or door is locked, but what else? Has very nice tucked up rocker guards. I did shave the bottom of the door off to do that, about an inch and a bit. Keeps those up nice tucked. They do stick out just a little bit to keep the body off the rock, or keep the body off the rocks. And the inside's a pretty small truck generally. Let's see if I can take you guys in here with me. I run a 7-inch tablet for navigation duties, just with the GPS, internal GPS antenna, marine stereo. It's got this cool little speaker box that looks like a old heater unit. There is a heater in it. I have a quad band ham radio in here too, down between the seats. Intercom system, simple gauges, and pretty consolidated switches. Custom sun visors that are basically just Ram ball mount parts. Soft shackle grab handles. And then these are basically Corbu adjustable reclining suspension seats. There is some space behind the seats. Like I said, the rear window panels do fit down behind the seats, which is very nice. And still a decent amount of space for, you know, keeping all the stuff that usually hangs out in the cab. So that, guys, is the LX450. If you have any questions, let me know. A couple more details. There is onboard air in this car. It has a compressor mounted under the bed from Puma, and that's also where the battery is, down under in that area. I doubt you can see anything. 40-inch Milestar Patagonia black labels on trail gear wheels. Fun new hub bolt lock ideas I've been playing with. Thanks for watching.